I do suffer sometimes living here, squatting, because I get paranoid that the council are going to come and kick me out, and I've got to move on to another squat and find another house. It's like, come on, Mark, just beat that, just go and rent. You know, there's just this energy that squatting gives me, that you're kind of on this edge, and I can't see how I could live that edge in a 9 to 5, you know, and rent.
"29-year-old Mark has been squatting in a 2-bedroom flat in Lambeth for almost a year.
Crazy shapes. Nice pencil holders. It was on the 23rd, Friday morning. Literally just woke up. Suddenly, there's a massive crash on the door, sort of like lovely roadside hoarding. The suspicion it was the council trying to get me out. They didn't know that I was in here because the steel doors literally were saying that no one was behind there. Kept persisting, more banging, and it got quite loud. In the end, I sort of said, you know, what do you want? It's Lambeth, open up. And I sort of said, you know, I'm living here, I'm not coming out. And they said, you know, well, you're squatting here. And I said, yes. And he said, well, you've got to move out. And I asked, you know, how long do I have? And he just said, you've got until Monday, which meant I had the whole of the weekend to clear out. You know. But you know, I'm prepared to sort of fight the legal system and sort of, you know, claim that I've got rights here. I'm prepared to sort of live, you know, this sort of energetic couple of weeks, sort of hanging out and seeing what happens. Do. Voila. Have a table. So it's all found. The only thing I bought was 8 screws. In my experience. Any other names you have used? No. This is a housing register application. Basically, to get a council house, you need to fill in this form. It's weird because it's kind of, it is like giving them information about, you know, you as a squatter. You know, they've my address of my last squat's down here, and my current squat. So I'm sure they've got some big board somewhere where they've got like tracking my, you know, everybody's movements at squatting. You know. It's weird how they make so much bloody money. 14 million last year in reclaimed homes from squatters. So to get on this, it increases my chances of being rehoused. So therefore, as long as I'm on the housing register, the council will look very stupid if they're seen evicting me and not rehousing me. Section 18. What benefits do I get? I don't sign on? No. I am an elected council member for Lambeth. Voila. Load. Okay. I'm with the assault course. Supposedly, on the 23rd of August, everybody that's renting off the council, or in some way connected to the council property, will all be moved out and rehoused. So that means half of this, or 3/4 of this street is going to be empty. You know, all these empty properties. just to be sold off to developers. And you can see it now, there's an empty property there, and there, and there. There's one here, there's one top right there. I mean, the one I was squatting in is just over there. Previously, it's just been done up. And it says there's 7 luxury 2-bedroom apartments for sale. When I got into this house, I knew that I would never own it. And that's not my intention as a squatter. And I'm not in it to own a property. I'm in it just to sort of get by, as a sort of a spiritual journey, and just to look a lot closer at, you know, at the city, at how I live, how other people live, in an architectural way, in a kind of, well, as a squat apologist sort of thing, you know. This is the one. How was the registered? Right, I handed it in and told them my situation, and they said it will take 6 to 8 weeks to process. I let them know that I was squatting, and told them the situation about the situation in the road, that everyone's going to be evicted on the 23rd of August this month, and said that, you know, it won't get processed for 6 to 8 weeks. And that when I do get an eviction notice, to bring it to this building here, the Housing Trust, and to have lengthy chats with them about how I can get rehoused. In this situation, you know, they did say that it wouldn't take, you know, getting a house this fast, it would never happen. You know, it's just not going to happen at all. So I have to sort of get housing advice on this building here when I get my eviction notice. So it's in their hands, really. So I'll just go and live. I'm basically making a quick conceptual model of a job in Putney for a client. It's redesigning the whole ground floor, linking to the garden, whole new kitchen. But it's a simple model to show the client. I graduated with a master's from the Royal College of Art, which specialised in space, you know, interiors and architecture. And I graduated from there 2 years ago, and since then, you know, I'm looking at how people live. You know, this is something as an architectural practice. Social observations, you know, just looking harder, looking where I didn't look before. And squatting is one of them. You know, it was cheap. The right as a squatter to this property is that of a physical one. Is that whilst I'm here, I'm in physical possession. When I'm out the squat, I don't have physical possession. So by law, the council legally can come in, break an entry, and take over. You know, put a new lock on the door. I'm homeless. It's made me a bit edgy. I feel very housebound. That I can't get out sometimes. It's just that freedom to suddenly go out whenever you want to. It's not there anymore. It's a risk, you know. Always sort of look out the door, see if there's any council vans outside. It's Friday, and there's no news of the council at all, so we've got a weekend to relax. There's a BSP van outside, which is a bit unnerving, though I don't feel totally threatened by it because it doesn't really affect me. It's just a sign of people that have moved out already, been evicted, and they're there just to sort of bolt up the doors, stop squatters from getting in, you know, secure the place. But they are outside and a little bit unnerving, but I feel safe. You know, they can't touch me. got me. So. There's a procession today to mark the death of Lambeth Housing, and people are congregating, all wearing blackish banners, and the council are here. They're evicting 2 people in the block in Lancaster and 2 in this block. We're just protesting, we're not going to be violent. It's just to sort of show people what's going on. There's lots of officials out here. I'm a bit nervous because even though I haven't got an eviction notice on how I live, but I don't know these people, and there's too many suits. I don't like suits in this road. Oh man, it feels like I could be homeless any second. On the edge. It's quite rewarding. The things you do to get an eviction notice, I don't know. What's amazing is that every footstep means something. It's like a nerve. It's someone's treading on your nerves, and it's. There are official footsteps as well. They kind of seem busy. They're footsteps that are doing something. They're not just meandering like they usually are. It's just kind of positive.
The bailiffs working for the council begin to evict the tenants living next door to Mark.
Here we go. Right. It's like Tom and Jerry.
The tenants' protests have gone unheard. Despite many of them living in the same flats for nearly 20 years, the council is still evicting them. Meanwhile, Mark appears to have slipped through the net.
Since the 23rd of June, when they came round and found me in there, I've had no eviction letter, nothing. You know, it's as if they've just turned a blind eye. But they are on the case. I'm sure of it. You know, it won't be long now, I don't think. But there's so many empty houses there since January. You know, there's about 7 or 8 since January. And they're just tipping them off day by day. So I will just go in and get one. You know, I don't want all these rich businessmen just to sell off the properties.
Because the tenants are on short leases, most of them have had to swap their 2-bedroom flats for bed and breakfast accommodation, but a few of them have been luckier.
This is where Tanya lived, our neighbour, and she's been rehoused in Oval, in Kennington, and quite meaty doors. The funny situation is that they've totally ignored me as a squatter. They know that I'm here. And the people that are legally sort of here have all been evicted. Well, not all of them, but there's 4 people left. And it's just a bit bizarre that, you know, that they've just left me alone, you know. So I'm a bit worried that I'm going to be the only person here, looking after the whole block. So there's 2 on this floor, there's 2 boarded up on the top floor. On this floor here, you know, this person was moved out. Also on the 15th, there's 2 people still living in these, and there's 5 and 6, who are both fighting their cases. But you can see that someone has had a go at that door. And it's crazy because you can't get into these things, and it's not worth it. You know, I wouldn't prepare anybody to even try and invest in trying to get in there, you know, because it's legal damage. You know, these doors cost a lot of money. And for most people that are squatting, squat for a particular reason. And in Brixton, there's a lot of people that squat out of hardship and just want to do drugs. It's as simple as that. This one here has been empty for a couple of months now. So the council are on the move, but they can't sell the property with 4 people in here. So in a way, I am safe until I get my eviction notice, until these people move out. Tomorrow is the day that the council get possession of all the houses. I have heard yesterday off a friend that the council won't be making any evictions or doing anything too drastic, so I can relax a little. Or makes it a bit more unnerving actually, is that I'm not going to be here to sort of see anything.
While Mark is at work, the day of the council repossession passes. The next day, Mark goes out to relax.
Yesterday, council got the handover of the property, Rushcroft Road. Nothing happened really. It was quite peaceful. So they're totally ignoring me. But I'm still very apprehensive about the whole thing. You know, I'm sort of looking at the reality of what I'm doing as well, which is quite positive. So I'm starting to see the negative sides of living, you know, as a squatter, just undermining, you know, my security, you know, or as a squatter, you know, to live a life as a squatter full time, you know, it's so much paranoia, you know, at times like this. So I guess, you know, it's good to rent. nothing, has happened at all regarding my situation here. It's a bit of an anticlimax because I thought something may possibly happen, a letter or something. And also through this documentary, I am considering, the reality of everything. The reality of me squatting. What it is I am doing. I love the architectural side, but separate to that, I still live. I don't want to go around squatting as an architectural squatter, thinking, oh, I've got to work this out like some Einstein. It's kind of not programmed like that. I think what's happened is there's the VSP and they just come to check the door, and I have noticed that there's been some movement next door. Someone's trying to get in, and I think they're trying to get access now and they can't because someone's fiddled with some sort of switch. These doors next door are electronic, so it's crazy. But it's not threatening to me, but they're just calling up the officials to sort of say the door's been tampered with. They might get a visit today. Maybe. I'm quite tempted to go out there and talk to them. So I have met them. Two guys that do this door. Alright. Alright. To get into the courtyard, to then drop to the ground and get into the windows.
Given the chance by the workers, Mark goes next door and salvages a mirror that his neighbours have left behind.
Oh man, that's the head of the council like that. Oh my god. He just smiled. Didn't even ask. Just gonna make him a cup of tea, eh? I'm so nervous. I can hear my heartbeat. I only wanted to get a mirror, because I knew it was in there. And he was just standing there looking at me, just to say, who are you? I hope I haven't got them into trouble. No. This is the thrill of it, squatting. This is the shit that you give yourself, the kind of paranoia, and it kind of keeps you on your toes. I mean, inside I feel so kind of elated. Quite. It's kind of like almost sexual. I feel really giggly and stupid. A bit of a kick. It feels very dangerous. But it does kind of feel as if you're on the edge of a decision. You're still on that decision. You're always questioning me. Is this right? I just can't believe this guy's face. His eyes are just like, who are you? But he's very efficient. Anyway, part 2. Is that the bailiff?